Hello.
Good morning.
Why'd you clap? Cut. So how is everybody today? Happy Tuesday to you. It is a very strange day in Mexico because we woke up alive again. I think I have something in my eyes. Hang on here.
And Campana is still here.
Morning,
it
Jeff.
wasn't a dream. It was not a dream, you guys.
It may have been a dream.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, let me see your hair. I should have seen how she woke up with crazy hair.
It is none of your
today.
business how I woke up.
She woke up with crazy hair. Good morning, Jolene.
I experimented
Hello,
on my
Taco
eyeshadow
Tuesday.
this morning. What do you guys think?
Hello, Kathy.
I know I didn't do very much different. I kind of changed it because it was a little out there for me.
Yeah.
I'm kind of conservative when it comes to colors on my eyes.
And I noticed that I got that little thing here.
Oh, nobody cares
That's
about
a
your
skin
face.
tag that went weird because I got it cut off at the.
Isn't it pretty?
Yeah, it is a lovely copper. And hello, Leslie. So yeah, I cut
Kathy?
off, and the skin color. She never said it would grow back like that. So when you get stuff done, you need to find out everything. It's probably 2-3 years ago we had them cut off.
Yeah.
But it was a huge one. Like, I mean, it was
Well,
starting.
you can still see my little mark here. I had one
but
removed
that's
here.
fine. I mean, that's like.
Oh, so on your face it's important. On mine,
your eye. Everybody looks at your eyes, but not. Oh no, everybody does look at your boobs.
That's not my boobs. That's my neck.
You're constantly going, "Hey, pal, eyes up here, eyes up here."
No, because I talk to respectable people.
Do you?
This is yesterday's. What
Do
am
you
I
really
doing?
respect people, or I guess speak to them? So today we're showing properties. We have coaching. We have a Zoom call with a lady who wants to buy a Terralta.
And potentially a meeting with a developer.
And a developer. Oh my gosh, we are meeting with a developer.
And good morning, today. Manny.
Hello, Manny. I hope you're still losing weight. We are going back on the fasting regime here. When is our family going?
Starting on
still eating smart. Went to Norman's and walk yesterday. Loved it. We had
That's eating smart. I tell you what, his food is so good.
We had what was Kung Pao chicken.
Mm-hmm.
It was very good. Not on the menu.
Not on the menu.
You can ask for things.
And if he can make it, he will.
If he knows, he'll make it.
He
Quit
knows.
Clapping and smacking.
He knows everything.
Why is she making so much noise today?
I don't know, usually you're...
So we chatted with Norman, and then afterwards we went to our office, and maybe him and Christie had a little tequila.
Just a little.
And we were chatting, and his business
He's working on it, he said, Manny.
His business is doing quite well. And the reason it's doing well is they deliver now. If you want to end walk and don't want to leave your house, he delivers. And it's 30 pesos in Bucerias and 60 pesos in La Cruz. You're paying a third party. So, I mean, that's amazing. What a great model. So they talked about this during the last low season, and he put it into place, and he's still doing a ton of business. And you can get your food pretty darn quick if you add from him. And walk is delicious, Jeff. So yes, and also Norman introduced us to a young lady who may work with us. He also introduced us to a gentleman who has a science degree, and he works in botany, and he worked in a stevia field, as well as the agave field, and he is now getting into the Mary Jane, extracting weed, marijuana, according to Christie, and THC and CBD for topical applications. So it was very intriguing talking to them just about the future, because by the end of this month, it's legal in Mexico. I mean, it's legal now, but it's not illegal. And because it's not illegal, it just invariably becomes legal.
Manny said he's down to 228.
Woot! That is fantastic.
Julie, good morning.
So, yeah.
Hello.
So Jeff says Norman also makes great coffee. He does.
Oh, yes, he does. That's what I'm drinking.
But Christie has made the tri-state coffee, according to... Who said the tri-state? I loved that name.
I thought you did.
No. I said it was
maybe
3 states.
Sandra?
It was Sandra.
I think
tri-state.
It was Sandra.
Tri-state. Thank you, Sandra. It's Christie's famous tri-state coffee.
It's only famous to me. I'm not sharing it.
It is.
I'm running out of Oaxaca coffee. I got to go back.
It's Veracruz, Chiapas, and Oaxaca coffee. So the 3 states and different roastings.
Debbie, you've never eaten at Enwalk? Oh my goodness. Yeah, we're going when you get
Oh
back.
my gosh, that is terrible. He's got a very small menu, but what he has, he's really, really good at. And like I said, he can make other stuff as well.
And good morning, Randy. How is not Jarvis Bay?
Jolene, the name is Enwalk. Enwalk. So N like Norman and Walk WOK. It's across from our office. So what else we got going on here, honey?
So I don't know. I haven't told John this yet, but
there's
Julie,
a bunch of stuff you haven't told me.
Julie is saying, were you at La Tequilera? Saw a video on Facebook yesterday, and I think I saw you too. So it looks like what they do to promote their weekly schedule is they record, like they do short little videos of that night and post it for the following week. So yes, Julie, that was us on the commercial, on their little ad or whatever.
So how do you know this?
Because I saw it.
You saw it? And you didn't tell me?
I just saw it yesterday. I was busy yesterday. We had a very full day. I had a very full day yesterday. John was doing other stuff, but
still hiring.
Yeah.
And we have.
But yes, anyways, Julie, yes, that definitely was us. Jolene, you were in that video. That's the night that we met up there, and you could see our little birthday gifts on the table.
Is it on their
It's on the website, yeah, or on their Facebook page.
There you go, Jolene. If you're in the witness relocation program, you need to tell them to take it down.
Yeah.
Mind you, people always say, well, your last name's Forget. And I'm like, well, we're in the witness relocation program, and we wanted something that didn't stand out, that was invisible.
Yes, I'm just going to see if I can find it for you.
I don't know why she's doing this right now.
It's for fun.
All right. So we are becoming famous. Yes, you are.
Famous or infamous?
Infamous, I think, is when you do bad things.
Oh, well, then we're famous. We don't do bad things.
We don't do bad things.
We might do dumb things, but we don't do bad things.
Do we do dumb things?
Oh, you do.
Yeah, I guess I do. I have crazy glued myself to my children. I can't see it on
their site, but I will look.
Yeah.
I will look later.
I have told you the story about how I crazy glued myself to my youngest son, who is now, he's 25 years old. That's just...
Birch Bay, that's the name. Yes. There's a Birch Bay in Alberta, too.
Is that by the airport?
I think so.
Yeah.
That's why I thought I was wrong, because there's one out by South Cooking Lake. Now, Julie said it looked like a fun spot. It is. The food is great. If you like tequila, they have great tequila there. Monica is saying good morning. My mom, Monica. Good morning. I haven't even seen her yet this morning. And Jennifer said, great time at Oceans. Good to see you. See you next year. Yes.
Jolene says to tag her when you see the video.
I will. I'll try to find it, Jolene, and I'll send it to you. It was on Facebook just as one of their advertisements. I assumed it would be on their actual page, but I can't. But I didn't look very deeply. So
I have all of the paperwork to release my still from customs. It's pretty much going to cost exactly what I budgeted. So I'm glad I budgeted that much. It may be a little less. We'll see. But it was funny because the guy emails me and says, can you send me your RFC? So Christie goes through, finds my RFC. It's an address that we haven't lived at in 7 years.
Yeah, I didn't have the new version of it. Shirley has it.
So we email Shirley and we're like, do you have our new one? And she's like, of course. Here you go. Because Shirley has everything.
Yeah.
Shirley is spectacular. We love Shirley. So, we also found out we can go by Shirley's house anytime. Anytime. I don't know why.
Spencer says, we want to hear the story of how you super glued yourself to your youngest.
Spencer, what are you doing here?
Spencer is our youngest, conveniently enough.
So, real quick.
Spency.
Spencer was at the neighbor's house across the way, sliced his foot open. I had him. My idea was to use super glue to seal it up because it was a nice clean cut. So I took a toothpick, super glue it up, and I put the glue down and it's still not sticking. And I'm like, oh man. So I just kind of hold it down. Boom. Super glued to my son. Now I had to have him wrapped around me. He's crying. Christie's like, what's happened? I'm like, I glued myself to Spencer and he's just hanging on to me for dear life. So yeah, it was very scary and sad for Spencer. Sorry about the damage I caused you, Spencer.
Oh God, that's just the top tip of the iceberg.
Jeff says, which airline is your mom using to fly back to Canada? Do you know?
And Mom, you're going to have to pipe up on this one if you're still watching, because I think it's American.
Not a Canadian airline,
No
because
kidding.
Canadian airlines deserve to be shut down. They deserve it. All right. Good morning, Canadian ingenuity. Yeah.
No,
Thanks, Donna.
Canadian stupidity.
That
Because
was-
it didn't work.
It did not work. Well, if I had meant to glue myself to my son's foot, it was perfect.
So then when Crazy Glue came out with the sticks,
Skin
doesn't stick to your fingers, whatever. I can't remember what the little
time we
tagline.
passed it, my kids would point it out
laugh.
to me.
Yeah.
So one time we were.
So Spencer, you happy now? Dad told the story.
It was a Canadian Tire, I believe, is the first time we saw it, which is funny because I used to wear this trench coat. And
Nerd.
And we had the kids with us, and I believe Shay was 3 or 4, and she's pushing in front of me at Canadian Tire. A frickin' anvil fell on my foot.
She thought he was the Roadrunner.
It was horrible. Like it fell on my foot, and it was like not a big one; it was a small one, but it was an anvil, and it fell on my foot. And I was wearing dress shoes, not steel-toed boots.
Brutes. Steel-toed brutes.
Steel-toed brutes. You kick people with.
So
them.
yeah, Mom's gonna have to tell me what airline because I'm not sure.
Canadian Airlines suck. Actually, WestJet really sucks. So everybody fly Canadian. Do not fly Swoop. Do not fly WestJet. Just fly Canadian. Actually, screw the Canadian Airlines.
Don't go to Canada. You have to quarantine and do all that stupid stuff. Just don't do it.
We've been talking to so many Canadians that want to get the hell out of Canada. They're done. They are. Yes, Jeff, we know. We will find you a good realtor.
No, I'm here.
That's true.
Let's kick John out of the mix.
That's true. So yeah, that is what's going on in our life. So that was the time I had an anvil. You heard about when I crazy glued myself to my son.
So lots of stupid shit.
I've done
stuff.
I've done so much stupid stuff over the years.
Apparently, my mom isn't really watching because she would have answered by now.
She'll watch it at some point today, and she'll be like, "Oh, this is what I did," and it was like, "It's too late. It is absolutely too late." So yeah, Jeff is like, "Thanks." Jeff knows. Jeff and his wife are retired. Claudia is retired, and they're going to make Mexico their full-time home because they're smart. They're very smart. So yeah,
be like Jeff and Claudia. Be smart. Be like Jeff.
Be like Jeff and Claudia. We need to have a campaign. Be like Jeff and Claudia. That's what we need to do. Jeff, you are our new mascot. And Claudia is woof. No, not like that. A mascot, the mascota is pet.
Spencer says
in Spanish.
What about when you fed your children root beer? Alcoholic root beer.
That's true. They can't be taken away from me now, so I can probably tell the story.
They're too old.
Maybe they should be.
Spencer, why aren't you working? I know you're probably on a break because you're a good boy and you don't mess around when you're working, right?
So I think we've told this story.
Rod and Stacy are doing well. They are both better.
Yeah, they are.
They took ivermectin.
Ivermectin.
So my mom, well, we won't talk about that. Okay, go on.
Yes.
Root
So
beer.
I started making root beer because my grandmother made root beer when I was a child. And so I did not know. She used bread yeast, which apparently can still do crazy yeast. So maybe my grandmother did get me drunk as a child.
Crazy
Don't know.
alcohol, you mean?
Yeah, but she
I
used
will
to make
need a royalty. We'll find you a house, Jeff.
She used to make root beer, and it was in the short stubbies. Like that's how long ago it was. I was probably in grade 1 or 2, and I would bring these beers to school, and I'd be the cool kid.
He was so cool.
So we...
that's a thing of the past.
My children... So I decided to make root beer. I found the root beer mix, which there's so little flavoring, so much little flavor in 20 liters.
Such a small amount.
Such a small amount in 20 liters. Lots of sugar. But you also use the yeast. So I bought beautiful German-engineered flip-top caps.
German-engineered.
German-engineered
See, we're awesome, us Germans.
So I see what you did there. So I go to the beer place, and I'm like, yeah, can I get some brewer's yeast? So I make root beer. So my kids are drinking the root beer. My family's drinking the root beer. My uncle's drinking the root beer. And he's like, John, there's real alcohol in this. I'm like, No, there's not.
Don't be silly. Why would you do that to my kids?
It's just root beer. He's like, no, there's alcohol in here. So I go back to the brew place and I'm like, do you have stuff like a liquid yeast for this? I said, because my kids don't like the sediment at the bottom. And he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, the yeast is the blah, blah, blah. He's like, that's making like 7% to 9% alcohol. And I'm like, oh, maybe my kids were drunk. So yeah, it was
horrible fun.
And it's one of those things that you just don't know.
What else, Spence? Come on, think of some more things. Only that Dad did, though, because I didn't do any stupid shit, right?
You said shit again.
Poop.
Why are you saying that? So yeah, we have friends that are leaving, Sandra and Ryan. We've got the
Sandra,
kids.
Ryan, and Clem.
Sandra and Clem. Sandra, Ryan, Sandra and Clem. We've got Zach's staying. He lives here with his wife and 2 children. We've got Shay and Matt. Mama's going back. I mean, everybody wants. No, I can't say everybody wants to go back.
Royce and Terry are leaving.
Royce and Terry. Oh my gosh, goodbye, Royce and Terry. At least
Jen's leaving.
They've got a souvenir. Jen has a souvenir.
They bought a condo. Jeff. They bought a condo.
Yeah.
Jeff.
Yeah. Did he forget them at the mall? Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have forgotten Spencer. Sorry, Spencer.
Poor Spencer.
Poor Spencer.
He gets all the stories. He was the last one. It was like, oh yeah, we have a 4th.
So we had this church that was very close to our house in Sylvan Lake.
Literally an easy walk to the house, 5-minute walk.
So the problem was Christie's parents came.
That wasn't the problem. That was a nice thing.
Well, no, it was, but it caused some confusion because we had children, they had children.
They drove, of course, because they came down from Edmonton. Yeah. We walked. So a bunch of us said, okay, well, we're walking. And my parents were like, okay, well, we'll drive. Spence didn't come with us, so we assumed Spence was with my parents. We all get home and we're like, oh boy.
So we went back to the church. Spence is sitting there and he's on the ledge and he's kicking his feet and he's like, I knew you'd come back.
He's like 2 years old.
Yeah, 2, maybe 3. But he said, I knew you'd come back.
He was young.
So yeah, and then you lost Zach at Southgate Shopping Mall.
He loved that big water fountain at Southgate.
The water fountain. So yeah, it was, it's amazing we made it through with 4 kids.
It's amazing the kids made it. Oh no, I knew we were going to make it. I wasn't sure the kids would.
If you ever have 4 children, which is a great thing to do, you want them all at once though. It wasn't planned.
Well, you don't want quadruplets?
Yeah.
You don't want quadruplets. That would be hard.
It was not planned. Our 4 children, none of them
Anything
were
else,
planned.
Ben? Can you think of anything else, bud?
But it was the best thing we ever did, was having the 4 together because they're awesome friends and they play together and they play together.
Well, they still play
they
together.
They still play together.
Actually, they were playing games last night. The kids are here.
I love that about my kids. I love that they love each other. They play each other. They play with each other. They like each other. I like that.
Mm-hmm. Most of the time. Because, they are siblings. And Leslie, I'm sorry for you that you have not been down here since 2019. That's a long time to miss Mexico.
Norman and us were talking about this, that the Canadians that haven't been here for 2 years, we both, including Norman and us, and actually most of the people here, expect a crazy busy week.
I'll be right back. And yes, the waterfall is gone.
A crazy busy season. Just because the Canadians, like I said, my client said, you can have steak. If you've eaten steak, you can only have hot dogs for 1 year. After 2 years, you want steak again. And Mexico is steak. So guys, come back to Mexico. Book your tickets now. Rentals are very hard to find. So I recommend Facebook to find rentals. And Jeff says, I think the waterfall at Southgate Mall is gone now. It sucks. We watched all that West Edmonton Mall videos and stuff. A lot of that stuff is gone. So yeah, it's just they keep making commercial space because that's how they make money. And the fountains and all the extra crap, they don't make money on that. Which, oh well. But COVID, oh my gosh, all the lineups that we saw at West Edmonton Mall, little Hitlers and Karens everywhere.
Okay, that's enough now.
It really was bad. So I'm hoping everything is open in Edmonton now because it sucks. It freaking sucks. You need to take out your politicians.
Not for dinner.
Not for dinner. All right. So what else is going on? Who's saying what, darling?
They're all just amazed at how horrible we were to our children.
I kind of were.
They're stunned.
It is. I yelled a lot when my kids were little. Sad. Has the price of wood gone up there? A 2x4 is $10. Yeah, I do know what's going on in the lumber world. It's all going to collapse very soon. Most of it had to do with COVID and the idiot people who thought, well, people aren't going to do anything. And instead, they're all like, we need to fix up our house. I've got all this paid time off.
Yeah. I saw the funniest meme, though. There was a sheet of plywood that had fallen off a truck into someone's windshield. And they're like, yeah, I was going to do
write-off.
An insurance claim, but now I'm just going to sell the plywood and buy myself a new car.
That was kind of funny.
It was. I thought it was hilarious.
I heard an interesting thing yesterday, and it was it's the reason that the front window is so big and the rear view mirror is so small. When you're looking back, it doesn't matter too much about what happened in our past. It's what's in our future. I love that. I mean, he said it much more eloquently, and I'm trying to remember. Can't remember.
I wasn't listening. I wasn't there when you were listening to it.
So still working on hiring that Filipino person, and I've got them all to send stuff. So I'm actually having work created, but I am looking for a full-timer.
I don't know what's in my eye, but boy, does it ever sting.
You want to rinse it out in the water thing?
No, I'll wreck my makeup. I don't have to do it again.
She would rather have an eye that does not function correctly instead of redoing her makeup. That's how long it takes her.
That doesn't take me a long time.
Days.
I just hope that when anybody's seeing the video, the snapshot or the thumb
of what?
Thumbnail
of
that
what?
They choose is not this that I was doing. That'd be embarrassing.
Not really. We could do it together here.
Nope.
And then they'll think that we're winking.
But if you're winking like that. So also, Norman may have a extractor fan for me. A commercial one that he was using that wasn't quite strong enough. And I don't need a big, huge commercial one. I just need a custom one. So I'm going to talk to my buddy Norman about that too. And Good morning, Rose. How are you guys?
Hello, Rose. How's Toronto?
Ooh,
I think you're in lockdown.
Sweaty.
I think Canada is in lockdown. I think Canada is slaves.
You think Canada is slaves? You think a country is slaves?
I think everybody in Canada
use
is
your
being
words.
forced.
That's what I have to tell Taylor. Use your words.
She doesn't use many words.
She uses a lot of words. You just can't understand them. She mumbles like her father.
That's kind of true. We have to stop giving her tequila, honey. We don't give her tequila, guys. I may have given my children beer.
With anybody.
I may have. Christie doesn't share. So if you want to make alcoholic root beer, just go to your liquor store and get yeast. He said to use bread yeast. Bread yeast.
Yes, use bread yeast, not
baker's yeast.
Oh,
Rose
is here, and they are
good job
in PV under renovation. So what are you doing?
Excellent.
You missed the update on the still, my dear. It is in Guadalajara. We are just waiting for some paperwork to be cleared, and it'll be here.
Yeah, I've got all the paperwork. I just have to go to the office. Well, actually, I just have to call Shirley because I can sign it on my tablet.
Well, we have to go to the office anyways. So.
Yeah, very true. So I guess we'll get out of your hair because, well, we're not in your hair. We're not like
we have a day.
So ivermectin. You need ivermectin in your house. So if you do get the COVID, just take it. It's gone. 2-3 days, take another one. You're all good. But you need to actually talk to a doctor.
Full reno. Oh, good for you guys.
Excellent. All right, guys. Have a fantastic Tuesday.
Yep, all day.
And hopefully I have somebody hired tonight. So have a great day, Jeff. You too. Adios, Donna. We will talk to you guys soon.